Okay, so now the problem that we seem to have is that there's not enough employees anywhere, which would mean that we need more houses. So I can continue zoning up some of these areas. But oh, this game, so it cannot. Where's my pathway? Take pathway, create the pathway, and then again add the housing back. Why is this not a zone? Okay, there we go. So now we have the houses again, and there's like randomly extra houses in between. Then there's some issue over here too. I'm gonna delete these houses and then add a pathway so that we can get some equal plots. Wait, hang on a second. Oh, for some reason the game dezoned those. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm just gonna do it. What's going on? So these squares actually belong to this block and not this block for some reason. I don't understand why. And then if I decide to delete this road and then bring it back here, okay, that seems to have done something, but for some reason it's still creating these weird asymmetric houses. So I'm gonna de-zone this thing, then create zone over here, and yeah, now it is facing the correct way, so I can go ahead and add a zone here again. This is a lot of work. This game makes creating symmetric housing a lot of work for no reason, no good reason. I'm gonna destroy this plot so it can take up the entire space. There we go. Cool. Better than nothing. So we do have some asymmetric housing over on this side, but to me that's fine because it's like, you know, the end of this entire block, and then same over here. But in the middle, at least I want to have symmetric housing if possible. We still have not enough employees. I'm gonna continue creating a few more residential zones, and then let's see if we still have that complete. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete this road over here, and then I'm gonna create a zone in here. Let it face the correct way of the road. Delete this one, let it face the correct way, and then I'm gonna go and create the road again, because that's what I'm gonna have to do to have some symmetric housing now. I think same with this one. Create the blocks first, and then once the construction starts, go back in, rebuild the road. Cool. I think we have a trick that will work consistently every time now. What is high level stuff that we can fix for now? So we have some office demands. I'm gonna add some more offices here, which will create jobs that will cause more people to want to move into our city. So just creating 3 offices, the demand died out pretty quickly. I'm gonna just let those offices be built and let some time pass, after which I think more should come in. So this is a green type, if specialized industry, and I think we've built everything we have in the industrial signature buildings. There's nothing else left that is unlocked and not yet built. Same for commercial. Yep. So I'm just gonna wait out for more of these to get unlocked. In the meantime, I could continue creating some more layouts. Okay, I think we've filled up this side of the town with mostly symmetric house grids, and they're all being built, and I feel very satisfied with my result. And the trick to remove the road before I add plots also ended up working really well for some of the other plots that were aligned to the wrong side of the road. So now I'm really happy about that too. I see a bunch of asymmetric housing over here. I'm just gonna remove the road, add the zones back in, and then add the road back in. So yeah, for most parts, really nice symmetric housing. So you might ask me, why is it that I just randomly decided to have this different Netherlands style of low density housing here, where everything else over here is these sprawling, luxurious, spacious homes. I just want some variety in my town over here. I don't want it to look completely homogeneous, and a lot of this might feel like it's sort of like out of place, especially with like the missing blocks in between, which blame the game's algorithm for that it doesn't for some reason create proper constant housing. But you know what, we are gonna work with what we have over here. The other option is I just use the normal European style housing for everything, and I don't want to like do that everywhere. I just want a little bit of diversity. But you know, not all cities, not all parts of the city can be perfect. You're gonna have some imperfections, and I'm not gonna let perfect be the enemy of good. I think what we have here is good enough, and you know, things can be improved later if I feel like it. But for now, I am pretty satisfied with what we have. Look at this, really neat. I can add some more props over here, make this look more full. Okay, that looks slightly better. Of course, it can be made a lot better, but I'm not really using any real life reference here. I'm just placing things wherever it feels like it, without like taking any real life inspiration. So you know, it might look a lot out of place, but it's better than nothing. Just have the place be filled and be a little more livelier. Have a few tables every now and then for people to gather around and like play carom or something like that, and then keep like a nice swimming pool every here and there, a nice fountain, and people to sit and benches for people to sit in. The only thing that I don't like is these props are just like purely visual and decorative. I do wish you could see the Sims actually interact with this, but you know, maybe in a future update somebody might make use of it, or there might exist a mod for it that actually allows people to use it. Who knows? So we have our Leafy Greens, which for some reason it's still not getting enough customers. What do I do to improve this? I've built a lot of housing which should make it so that we have a lot of customers over here, and if like nothing else, it should at least be able to export the goods, which I think I do see like a blue line going outside, which means it is being exported. I'm not sure what the problem might be. The only thing I can think of is like adding more houses, probably, maybe some low density housing. Okay, what does it create? It creates processed goods. Which is basically it's creating convenience food. So okay, either people from normal houses are their customers, or commercial zones, commercial shops are their customers. I'm gonna need to read up on what creates demand for commercial zones. Okay, the advisor doesn't really have anything useful for me in my current situation. I'm gonna have to dive a little deeper than that. Okay, so one thing I can do right off the bat is, since I do have quite a lot of money being made, I can add extra settling tank for it, but I guess that is something that needs land, and I don't have any land over here. So I can try to just extend what I have in here a little bit on the side, just like that. And even though that's a very ugly looking solution in an otherwise rather nice kiwa here, it should do the trick. Just need some more land. Let me create some more space. There we go. Now that that's made, what am I supposed to do? Okay, I guess I wasn't supposed to place it at the end. I thought it would pour sewage out through the settling tank, and then this would like go out into being excreted, but I guess that was not what was happening here. Never mind. that means I need to change the layout of these things. Okay, so this is a very ugly solution, but I really don't know how to place it, otherwise I'm just gonna ignore it for the time being. So now that means we should have fishing and open water fish farm. So I can set this up somewhere on the side of water, I guess somewhere like this. This should be good enough, and then I can perfect. What is that for? Build 2 kilometers of pier in one city. In one city, okay, interesting. Let me just extend this keyword that I have such that it intersects what I have in here. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna make the land more perfect first. Let me just bring it out here and then try to create a road that goes like this and then intersects. Like this. I guess we can improve that a little. First, let's just have something that I can connect the facility with, and then I can think of extending. Something like that. I don't know if that's a neat solution. It does look a little asymmetric. I would have preferred it to be in line like this, but I guess that's okay. You're gonna hear a lot of that's okay in this, so if that's something that annoys you, you've been warned. Okay, so since we have a lot of new housing, I guess we have a lot of new people moving in, which is creating some traffic jam over here, but we should be fine after a while. Which reminds me that at this point we should probably try to build bus services for our town. Also, I can see demand come up for commercial zones, which is always nice to have. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create some commercial zoning, allow them to get propped up. I guess it died out pretty quickly, but you know, that's neat to have over there. And then I can go ahead with creating some more factories, because I have zones for that, which is what I was creating the the harbor for, and then I forgot about it and ADHD'd my way elsewhere. Cool. So I'm gonna extend this harbor. Why is it still sloping? And 20 is the biggest elevation that I am allowed. So I guess I'm just gonna extend it out here and then create something like this. Okay, so this is what the pier is, and I should create 2 kilometers of it in the same city. Well, we do have a lot of sea facing coast over here, so that should be fairly easy to do. We will get to it in good time. Let's start from here though. So I don't have any water connection over here, so I guess I can create a narrow boatway, but I don't think it will have sufficient. Oh, okay, if I adjust it just a little bit, then there is enough. Okay, cool. So it automatically made the land go back a little, so that's nice to have. And then I guess it can go out here, and you know, there's a waterway there, but we don't want to connect to that. Wait, hang on a second, I need to check where fishes are first and foremost. So I'm gonna go into natural. Oh my god, that is far away. There's some fishes on this side. I guess I could shift my facility here, or actually we have the money to buy more tiles. Why am I not thinking about that? I'm just gonna buy this entire place over here. No tile upkeep, so I don't need to worry about my profits dwindling, and then we can just let this extend out into where we have fishing area. So this is a route tool, I guess, which I can use to connect fishing areas and fishing harbors to create a route. So it would be something that like starts from here and then goes out into somewhere else. What I want is open water fish farming, and it starts. Where is it? I don't see any burning trees anywhere.
All citizens in the affected area are instructed to immediately move to a safe distance until the situation is under control.
Did the game glitch out or something? I don't see any burning fires. Anyway, good for me. So there is this, which is an open water fish farming area, and this is fishing boats gather fish from the fishing area. Okay, I guess this is what I want. So I am going to create a fishing area that starts from here, and okay, no, I need to delete this one. Oh, I'm pretty close to getting the Squasher Downer achievement. That's good. I'm gonna create one right over here on this side, I guess, and then I can expand into this area, something like this. Lots of fishies in this place. Hit one. Oh, it starts from here. Okay, cool. My bad. So we can go something like this, and then create like a nice straight line border that I can create, that I can share with another zone that I create, and then bring it back over here into like a nice straight line. Then similarly create one over here where the circle is just enough for us to create a boundary from it. Then similarly make use of this area, then share a straight boundary line with that area. Why am I doing it this way? I don't know. We just have two piers over there that we can use. So I'm just creating two areas where two different routes can connect and go for fishing in. Then I'm going to connect it to this waterway, and then just join it over here like this. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. We just experimenting right now. Let me bring it out and then curve it like this, and now we have two routes that lead their way into two fishing areas. And the next thing I need to do is create fishing routes. So I guess one route can exist that goes over here and then back once fishing is done. Then similarly one that goes from this pier over to here and then back. So now that I have the routes created, and now that I am assuming we do have employees, right? Where I don't see oh, okay, it's right there. So we just have one employee right now. I guess in a while then we should start seeing boats go out. Right now there's very few employees, which in general is true for all of my factories here, and this is where the forest fire is. I can finally see it. So what I should do is create a firefighting helicopter depot, which I did unlock, which costs quite a lot. but it's annoying to me to keep seeing these forest fires far away, so I'm gonna need to build one pronto, and I guess I can create it. Should I keep it assigned to the main highway or not? I guess I could, but then I need to keep it somewhere here, so if I create a road that goes over here, I don't block it. The other thing that I'm really confused about is whether I want this to be like a large road, or do I want to upgrade it to a highway later, like something that just continues, like the highway will continue to go straight ahead, and then below that highway is where I have like my actual road, which connects to the city and connects the city to other places. But I don't think you can build a road on top of another road, not in this game at least. So if I like raise the elevation and I try to create oh, I guess I can when it's not stopping me. So I guess you can create a road on top of another. I guess then that can be it. So this is like, you know, the road that's connecting our city, like two parts of the city together, to these shops, and then I guess it doesn't need to be this long. It can just be a connector that like connects two parts of a city. I don't know, I'm a little confused on the layout. I don't know if there's anything wrong with what we have right now too. Like say for example, this is a highway, this is a main road that's going from here to this side, and then there's a intersection over here that connects which way is north, I don't know. Let's say let's say we are facing north right now. North is that way, so we have one that connects from east to west, and one highway that connects from south to north, and then this highway would be going all the way this way too. And when it goes this way, I don't know if I want to convert it back into a highway, or if like a large road is fine, because the benefit is that vehicles going by this road get to stop at these shops. The ones who want to stop, they can do so. The ones who want to continue can use the lanes in between, which should be fine. We do have a lot of highways like these in India, where along the highway road you have like lots of shops where you can stop by. The other thought process is to let the highway just go through either through the city or above the city uninterrupted without any intersections, so traffic that wants to continue can continue forward, and then have an intersection here that connects it to these other parts of the city. That is what I am confused on, because I can continue with what I have right now, but it will need a lot of refactoring later. Anyway, let's not think too much about it. Let's go with what we have for the time being, which is creating a helicopter depot right here. Why does it say overlapping items? Oh, the helicopter launch pad needs some clearance around it, which makes me feel like maybe it should be housed somewhere a little further away from the rest of the place if it does need space around it. And like anyway, I don't know if it has vehicles, so I don't think it has vehicles, so I can keep it outside, and the helicopter should be able to fly and reach wherever they need to be. Okay, I guess I can place it somewhere around here, and we have unlocked milestone 5, tiny town, which is good to have. I'll get to what we have unlocked in a bit. I just want to see in the meanwhile if the helicopters take off to douse that fire. Oh, I had the game paused and I was wondering why the helicopters aren't starting up. Okay, now it isn't paused anymore, so the helicopters have their target. I'm gonna speed things up a little. Would you look at that? just like that, most of the forest fire is already gone. Good job, firefighters. Lots of claps for these brave men. Good job. In the meanwhile, I think I can see fishing boats go out into the sea to fish. This is also a fishing boat. I don't see any stats on it apart from the owner, but I guess it is doing a good job fishing. And then there's this. This is the other boat. I'm gonna trust that it's doing a good job. Oh, we have unlocked the bottle cap office. Cool. I'm gonna place it in a pit. Let me see. Okay, yeah, our fishing industry already is profitable. It's making 200,000 credits per month. That's good to know. It already has 45 tons of fish stored, and with the rate that it is storing fish, given that it's not being consumed fast enough, I might need to create cold storage for it. Yeah, I'll create a large storage just so we have more capacity to begin with, and it's also more symmetrical. Both of them are the same size, so that looks neater. The other thing is I want to try out what the other tool does. So I use this one, the fishing area, that allows you to create it in area that has actual fish. And then there is this open water fishing farm thing that I guess I can create it right outside the pier that I have, or since we can get achievements for expanding our pier, I guess I can try to bring it outside a little.
2 hours later.
Yeah, that is good enough. Then I'm gonna create a open water fishing route area over here, and just create a nice square, or rather a rectangular area, and then try to create paths that lead to this one. Both of them can converge into the same one, and then I can use the route tool, create route like this. Similarly for this, and then let's see what this does. Ooh, I see something getting created over here. Fish cages and net pens are set up within the open water fish farming to cultivate fish. Oh, okay, so it's like an artificial fish farm where they are somehow cultivating fishes and then farming them, sort of like a chicken farm. Oh, look at this. This looks so good. Looks so cinematic. Is there a way to disable the HUD interface? Hide HUD, hide UI, something like that. I guess not. Never mind. This actually really looks good. I wish our night sky looked like that everywhere. I wish night pollution didn't have the kind of effect it did, so we would be able to see night sky just like that everywhere, because this feels incredibly relaxing to look at. But yeah, even this looks nice. Only complaint is we have moonlight, but we don't have any actual moon for some reason. Stuff like this being in the base game and only fixable by mods like better moonlight, it kinda sucks. Hopefully Snowflake Studios fixes that. But yeah, in the meanwhile, what we have looks really nice. I'm not surprised that the other ships, okay, at least there's something in here that makes it feel like a fishing area. Yeah, we have the lights that make it feel like fishing areas. Otherwise, it just looked like blank water, which felt weird. Oh, we have moon, which does not look like an the Earth moon that we know. Did it accidentally glitch out where it was supposed to be like an eclipse moon, like just this part? But instead of that part being white, that part is black and the rest of it is for some reason shining. I have no clue. But anyway, cool. At least my citizens get to enjoy a nice night view. So I can see we still have problems finding employees. The good thing is it seems like Leafy Greens is... Oh, this building is empty and available for rent. So I guess they declared bankruptcy and ended up leaving, which is sad. Hopefully some other business comes in and cleans it. I don't know what caused it. I don't know why these people are not finding enough customers. I have literally placed it close to a what do you call it, residential zone. The only thing I can think of is raising our population by bringing more people in. Actually, I'm thinking maybe my commercial zones, instead of being so close to each other, they could have been part of the actual suburbs. Because let's say someone's living here, they have to go all the way like out like this to get to a commercial zone, which does kind of feel weird. I think I should refactor this layout a little bit. And then this common space that we have here is what I can use to build stuff like police station. Let's say there's like a bunch of residential zones here. I can make something like this be a commercial zone, so it's in walking distance for all of these folks, and then one commercial zone here, so it's in walking distance for all of these folk. And I don't know if having so many businesses be near each other it's beneficial for the business. It could be one of the reasons why they're not getting enough customers. Something like this, keep it over here, and then turn the rest of this block into commercial zones, and then dezone this entire area over here. And then similarly the sports bar, I'm going to move it inside this block. And then let's say this is my commercial zone block, so I'm gonna make this be east. Oh no, those are waterfront businesses. I'm gonna let them be normal low density business here, and then create zoning around them. Yeah, I'm tired of trying to zone things correctly. I'm just gonna do it, let the game do whatever it wants to. Pop the musician. We have a signature, our first residential signature building. I'm gonna keep it near this residential zone and then create some housing around it, and I'm gonna let the game decide how to house. And then again, I am going to remove all of these commercial zones from here, but I'm just realizing that I already had placed in police station, and then I placed another police station here for some reason, so I'm gonna bulldoze this building. And oop, not that one. This one, as upgrades, has an investigation unit for detectives, which is nice to have, and it has an administrative wing which will have allow us to accommodate more staff and more vehicles and a bigger jail. So that is definitely a good to have, because right now I don't think there's much crime in the city, and it also isn't costing me much to keep everything at 100%, which is a boon, because in the base game you do have to lower things down quite a bit. That's when you're able to get by without like going into major losses. So that's a nice refreshing change of pace there. And now we can see our commercial zones getting filled in. I'm going to similarly turn this block over here into a commercial zone. So now most of our houses have commercial zones nearby to walk towards, and then I can continue doing something similar. Why have you guys left gaps in here? Rebuild. There we go. Make use of the land, guys. Don't cheapen out on the real estate. Make use of the extra space for something. Don't leave gaps. Similarly for this house, I can try to remove it. And okay, this part. Oh, okay, it's I don't like these empty spaces. I'm gonna fill it up with something. I'm actually realizing that anybody who's watching these videos will realize just how much of ADHD I suffer from. That I start off trying to do one thing and then I end up doing something completely different. I can create some more commercial zones, such as one here and then one here. And since we have a lot of demand for commercial zones, they end up getting filled pretty quick. Why aren't they using the entire space is my only complaint. That truck is trying to escape and I just kept destroying everything around it. Okay, all I'm trying to do is get them to use up the entire lot and for there to not be these gaps in between. How hard is that gonna be for me to? Okay, I'm gonna try to do that fixing later when there's more demand for it. Right now there's not enough demand, so it's not gonna happen, I guess. In the meantime, I can try to place some of the new offices that I unlocked. For example, this one, it does have a lot of benefits and little noise pollution, so I'm going to keep it over here in the office zone that I have, far away from the general public, and it's going to provide citywide entertainment, export profits and industrial efficiency, which is definite plus for me. I also like how the asset looks. They've made the roof be like a half of a bottle cap. That actually looks really nice. Mouth water press, interesting. Instead of calling it something generic like bottle cap office, I should call this mouth water press. It's more authentic that way. Look at this, mouth water press. And then the television production studio. Does this have any name on it? I guess not. I see a set in there, which is really nice to see. A lot of effort and care and thought being put into creating these assets. Oh yeah, there it is, Boot and Bug. This is Boot and Bug, which I don't know if that's the name of the studio or some show that they're producing. I also see Control Alt Delete there, but yeah, that's not what I'm gonna name anything. I am facing FPS drops. I have barely 3,000, 2,500 citizens, not even 3,000, and I'm facing FPS drops. The first thing Iceflix Studios should try to do is optimize this game. I don't know how they'll do it because game optimization is like a tough thing to do, but I want them to figure out some way of doing it. I'll just plop up the zones in advance, create some low density ones, create some medium density ones, and there's a lot of pollution in this side, so we're not going to create anything near it. We're going to keep it far away. Vertigo Square, there is a new signature building of residential type that has been unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and place it on this side of the town because I don't want signature buildings to only be on one side of the town, which means one of the existing houses will need to get. Why is it so small? Is this like one entire home or are these like individual homes? That doesn't look like big enough to be comfortable. Are you sure this is? I guess if it works for folks, then who am I to say anything, but that just to me looks weird. Ooh, we have these really nice corner houses. That actually looks good. Okay, what happens if I what is this? This is of the Netherlands medium density housing type. So we have NL medium density housing. Let me take up the entire square. So what this tells me is I need, if I want it to be filled completely, I need to make the square smaller. Otherwise I'm gonna have this weird gap in between. On the other hand, I could also fill this gap up with like a nice grassy texture, and I don't know, create a bunch of props in here. So yeah, of course I don't want my houses to feel like they're living in extremely cramped conditions. I don't know if something like this is enough, and like if I should have these kind of lots for things to be really spacious, or if I'm like allocating too much space to it. But yeah, it does feel really nice to look at. Like, look at that, so nice. Okay, we have some demand for office that is fluctuating a little bit, so I'm just gonna go ahead and create some office spaces before it goes away. Prop some offices up here and look at it go all the way down. Cool. Then we have urban promenades mixed housing. I'm going to create it facing this road on the outside, and for the rest of it, some Dutch style row housing in here. And some normal individual houses in here. So yeah, what we have right now is a nice cool little network, and the more I look at it, the more I'm realizing that I do need to split up my highway from the rest of the road that goes this way, because now that I'm thinking of adding public transport, I'm realizing we would have public transport connectivity across the city here. Like, let's say we have trams that go across the city. It's not gonna look well if the tram is crossing what's supposed to be a highway. So it is at this point I'm gonna have to start thinking about probably letting this road go up and above, and then letting it split out into the other sections of the road. And the fact that I just created a crap ton of housing in a very short amount of time means we have a lot of incoming traffic from various different parts of the world coming into our city to shift into the houses. So for a small while we are gonna have traffic jams, which sucks. I should have been a little more mindful, but it is what it is. It's what we have right now. Also, I am seeing that these things do not match up aesthetically, so I'm gonna have to think of a way to make that be better. What I'm gonna do is this entire block, I'm gonna let it all be urban promenades, because honestly I have not seen these assets up close. I don't really know how they feel, how it feels to have like a big block of them together. And now that I'm like placing them together is when I'm realizing that a lot of these assets are meant to go together. So I might consider placing more of them together. What I was waiting for to get unlocked is a park, so that every time I have empty spaces like this, I don't have to put up props that no one's gonna actually use. I can just fill it in with parks that are actually gonna be of use. Although I'm not being able to find a park that takes up this space properly. I guess this fits in the best. I can let these houses be rebuilt and be built in symmetry with the rest of them, and then over here I can just add some more park based props, something like that. Ooh, the musician has a horse ranch. Hello there. We have a really nice urban town, lot of nice mix of housing. I don't know how elegant that mix is, but it is a mix, all right. And I think I could reorder this one a little bit too. Okay, there is this one plot that is much bigger in size than the rest of them. I wonder why, but in the meanwhile I'll just fill in the rest of the plots. Let me see if I can bulldoze this so it can end up taking the entire plot. If not, maybe I can use a different type of zone here. None of them wants to take the full space. I can fill it up with actual parks instead. Add one of these here, one of these here, and I guess just let this space be. Or I can add a small urban parket in there. Is there a park that fits in a 1x1 space? Yep, it does. So now we have basically what we would have done by putting props in, but instead it's like actual parks that people can use and increase the attractiveness of the neighborhood. Similarly, we have some blank space in here which for some reason is not being filled in. I can try to put a different size, different type of lot in here, and then go back to the lot I intended for this place, and still people aren't moving in. I wonder why this happens. Is this like some sort of a game glitch, or is it something that I am doing that's wrong in here? I'm not sure, but either I can have let a house be here, or I can let a park be here if a park fits that kind of space. Cool. So now I have a nice city. Then there's this weird out of place mansion over here that I think I can shift it somewhere else where it would feel more appropriate. Do I have somewhere else in my town that has buildings of similar height? That's where I can choose to shift it to. I guess not, so I'm gonna keep it over here as one of these houses. There it at least looks a little bit in place. And we have our first road accident. I hope there's a police car on its way. It is. We still have a massive traffic backlog from vehicles trying to move into the city. It's gonna just go on for a few months, I guess, as people keep moving in. I'm just gonna let that happen. In the meanwhile, look at this. We have a lot of fishes in this area. Now it actually feels like an actual industry that we have, as compared to before when it felt mostly blank. I guess I was being a little too quick to pass judgment. But yeah, this looks a lot better. We have a lot of these really nice nets for fish farming. That looks good. And ooh, we have aurora. Look at that. That looks absolutely beautiful. I really envy people who get to enjoy auroras in the night sky. I really wish I could. Like India is pretty much close to the equator. I don't think we can ever see auroras here naturally. But the folks who live closer to the poles and are able to see it, you guys are really lucky. Not only can these guys see auroras, they also live in an area that's near to the sea and snow-capped mountains along with the aurora. That is a really good place to live in. And that's a wrap on part 2, guys. If you made it so far in this video, you have my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're enjoying this content, consider sticking around by subscribing. Like this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do all of the stuff that helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and if this is the kind of stuff that you feel someone may enjoy, do share it with them. And if you have any feedback for me, let me know. We're gonna continue on this town in the next episode. Until then, bye bye and have a great night.